What's going on, everyone? Terry Julian here, back again with another video. Today I want to talk about BITO, my favorite Bitcoin ETF right now, prior to the SEC hopefully approving some new ETFs to be traded on our stock exchanges. But right now, BITO is clearly out in front in terms of liquidity, terms of options, and those spreads are incredibly tight on BITO. And we're going to talk more about that right now. Nobody. So let's go ahead and introduce that to you guys, BITO, because some of you guys don't even know this one exists, which is really interesting. This is the world's largest and first US Bitcoin linked ETF. Now, a lot of people always thought that that was Grayscale's GBTC, but that's a different kind of fund. This is the first fund to use contracts, futures contracts to track the price of Bitcoin. So let's kind of go into that. But again, incredible amount of liquidity and incredible amount of transparency, and it's available at all your favorite brokerage houses. Okay, so basically every platform out there you can trade BITO. I do believe it is not available on Cash App. Cash App, you're tripping. This should be available to everyone who has your platform. All right, so holdings, as you can see here, 54%, 45%, a ton of Bitcoin futures contracts that this fund purchases in order to mimic the price of Bitcoin. So those are some of the holdings here. And this is as of 1/8/2024, and it is updated regularly. So you can come to this website, and you can see it's updated regularly all the time. So this is the current, since inception. The stock, or rather the fund, was created at the high of 2021. So it is, really recovering since then, as Bitcoin has been recovering since that high of 2021. And it has done incredibly well, and it is doing a great job of tracking the price of Bitcoin. So let's go back to BITO. Now, if we know that this is a fund that's linked using futures contracts to the price of Bitcoin, are we going to create, trend lines on BITO? No, because it's linked to spot Bitcoin. So if we know that it's using futures contracts to track spot Bitcoin, let's just go ahead and mark up Bitcoin. So we're just going to put BTC USD, right? And here's Bitcoin. This is the price of Bitcoin. This is going to be the way, and this is going to be the product you're actually going to use your support and resistance lines on, because that will give you a better way of identifying, how things could turn out on BITO, because it tracks this, right? So if you see somebody putting up support and resistance lines on BITO, they're an idiot and they're not knowing what they're doing, okay? So let's go ahead and get those support and resistance line out. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin here for the last, for instance, exception, right? Of course, we all would have loved to buy it all here, but hey, we are where we are. So let's go ahead and look at the daily time frame, all right? Going back almost a year now, almost past a year, all right? So let's look at the hourly time frame. Let's go ahead and start up support and resistance line. So let's go ahead and let's see a bunch of support there. Some previous resistance here, right? We don't want to go too far back, but we do want to make sure we catch what we can see within reason, all right? And I would say a little bit here as well. All right, so now let's go ahead and flip, because again, I love how the hourly chart transitions to the daily. And as you can see here, it does a good job of these previous 21 prices, all right? We're gonna go, obviously we can go all the way down there, but we don't want to do that, all right? But as you can see here, some definitely some resistance ahead of us that we need to be, paying attention to, all right? And probably up here as well, all right? At, what is that, 51.8? But right now, this is kind of where we are. So we know that we'd love to see Bitcoin cross above 48,245 up there. But here's some possible areas where Bitcoin could show some support here: 44, 41, and 37,979. Now, obviously, we hope we never see these prices again, But this is a great indication for you to kind of look at and say, okay, all right, well, if Bitcoin pulls back to 44,000 or even 43,000, that might be an opportunity for me to jump into BITO. So let's go back to BITO, and as you can see here, again, trades are very similar. You see a lot of gaps on this chart because as Bitcoin opens up in the morning, it either is going to gap up or gap down, and it doesn't have a consistent kind of price action where you'll see like a regular stock where it's basically day to day, and they're all really attached and lined up together. This is a ETF that is using futures options, and futures options can trade very, very differently with lots of gaps, lots of morning gap ups, prices gapping down as buyers and sellers are fighting back and forth for finding levels of where they kind of meet at. All right, so let's go ahead, BTC USD. All right, and this is kind of where we are here on Bitcoin. Right, go back to BITO real quick. Let's look at where we are here on the price action using our EMA. Of course, as you know, I'd love to be below the 100 moving average, which is at 1810, right? And prices are moving in the right direction since October of 23. So let's go ahead and look at Tasty Trade and pull up BITO. Very liquid options, as you can see here, but we want to go out a bit further because we want our money to be working for us. All right, and as we mentioned earlier, we like to be under 18 and see where we can kind of fit in at here. And again, these trades these are hypotheticals. Oh, that's not a very good. All right, you're gonna make me come in close here. Let's see if we can. I mean, that's usually when you have options that are $1 wide, I like to kind of spread them out a little bit because they tend to kind of act better in your trading account because $10 wide, and you buy them $1 wide, they act pretty crazy in the trading account. You'll start to get all kind of crazy numbers that might throw you off your game mentally. But figure it out. Make sure you don't hesitate to not buy it, because obviously take a trade that makes sense for you, but just understand they might trade pretty crazy in your account. All right. Again, this is a dummy account that I'm just using to show you guys what this could look like. 161 to 39. That's not actually too bad, risk reward wise. All right, it's 1661. So let's go ahead again. Just take the Terry Julian money calculator out. Let's see if this works for us here. So it's currently trading at 22.84. Strike price is 17. The option, let's say middle one is, let's just say 6. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is sub 1. I mean, I would take this trade. Absolutely. This is actually a really good trade. Distance to max loss is 29% here. You only need BITO to move up 1% for you to be immediately in the money. Risk reward could be better, but I mean, risking 161 to make 39 might not actually be that bad. 39, let's say, divided by 161. All right, 24%. Yeah, I would do that. I mean, that's one of the best I've recorded this so far today. So this is actually a decent trade. We just started. I might take this one, guys. I might go ahead and pull up Interactive Brokers and take this trade. This actually looks really, really good. So it's your boy Terry Julian, man. I might have something here, but again, Bitcoin has to continue to move up in the right way. But BITO is definitely the way you want to be playing Bitcoin moving forward. prior to, again, this approval of these Bitcoin ETFs. We're going to study these ETFs, and I'm going to make some videos on them, see, how real good they are actually for the people. But so far, so good. BITO is the way to go right now. It's your boy, Terry Julian. Tomorrow's another trading day. Trade well.